All right, so today's character is Chrom-A-Dome. He is a bit of a freak. I think is the nicest way of putting him. Right, he's meant to be that kind of character that's more of like the brains behind the operation. The smart guy. Uh, so he has the power to do like the basic psychic kind of move set. Right, he can lift stuff up with his mind. Right, all of that all those kind of like basic powers that you would assume from a psychic person, along with the power to like read minds and stuff. Here's the thing, right? Just as all the other characters that I've designed in the series have some caveat, his is, despite the fact that he could read your mind and like understand where you're going and like try to like gain some kind of a knowledge, right? He chooses not to because of an arrogance of, I think I'm better than literally everybody else in the world. So then therefore, why would I need that? And not like an honorable way, in a way where he's actively making fun of you while getting his ass kicked, right? Like I'm thinking of him as very much, and you can see this based off the design. He's very much like almost like a Discord mod, right? Where like once he loses to you, he has 1,000 excuses as to why he lost, and he has this like, well, I didn't even read your mind, so really I wasn't even going all out. Like this, he's like basically just always coping with the fact that he isn't the strongest, but he thinks of himself as so strong, so it wouldn't make sense, right? And so I think it's a very fun interaction, right? And so him having to kind of come to terms with not only the fact that is he not the strongest, but that like once he learns that there's a lot of other factors that lead to him just kind of like having to find a new cope, having to kind of take that energy and all that hatred out on somebody else, right? And so that's generally the character I'm trying to make here. And so what I tried to translate, now that we're getting into more of the line art section, is I wanted him to be very gross and grimy, right? Like somebody that like it's very Discord mod, Reddit mod kind of guy, right? Somebody that's like that would actually, right? Like your attack shouldn't work like that because like that kind of you know unwillingness to accept that he's wrong, unwillingness to accept that even that you might beat him, like stuff like that. Just like and what like that, like very much like that kind of that's the kind of voice I'm thinking of like whenever I'm thinking of him talking, right? It's always it's always like an actually, right? And so I really wanted to try to translate that, right? Somebody that because I think that a lot of like the what if superheroes were evil kind of shows, I think they do a very good job at like showing like, well, what if they like to murder? What if they like to but like what if they're also just an asshole to like everybody? Like they just revel in the fact that like, no, I know I'm a piece of shit, but like, what are you gonna do about it, right? And I think that that's a very fun character, right? I think it's a very fun, like, very much like he has a shit-eating grin, right? He's somebody that like even if you can beat up, you never feel like you won against him just because it's like a he's just so infuriating to be around, right? And that's really what I tried to convey with just this design, and I think I did a very good job. I think this is a very accurate looking Chrom-A-Dome, right? Um, the top part on his head there is his brain matter sticking out because he's a psychic, right? He's super duper smart, and so I wanted to try to translate that. And though it's not necessarily shown in either of these images, it does like slink back, right? Like the brain matter goes down his neck and then into like his spinal cord, right? And like all the way down because again, it's that like it's an incredible amount of brain matter, right? And the reason why is because I want to make him as ugly as possible. um, More just for the reason of he's like he's such like a piece of shit about how he's super strong. So making sure that he's very undesirable in almost every other aspect, right? I think only it makes it feel like it's fueling the flame of him being an annoying piece of shit, right? And so that's very much what I was trying to get across with this design, right? I wanted and like especially here with all of the teeth looking very crusty and gross, right? Like him again, he just feels like having like the stains on his shirt, right? It's like stuff like that where it's just like, ugh, God, like and this like this character, it's going there's going to be a lot of like development in very, very different ways for. Like, I think it's, it's going to be a very interesting character to both write and to read for y'all because I like obviously with hindsight being what it is for me, right? Like having him designed in this very grotesque way, but still having him be like a superhero, still having like the world have to kind of perceive him as like this is the good guy, right? I think it's a very funny dilemma, right? Because like imagine you're getting rescued, like imagine you're like a girl falling off a bridge and you're getting rescued, and like whenever you say oh my god thank you, like the guy's first like the guy is instantly talking about like some incel shit to you, right? Like it's like like when he asks you to like go out with him right afterwards, when you say no he's like I guess all girls are the same. God, nobody really wants a Figma like me, right? Like that very much just like cringy, way too online, like hasn't interacted with a normal human being in way too long. Like that's the person that Chrom-A-Dome is, right? But the issue is he has superpowers, so you can't really stop him, right? And so a lot of the like again, a lot of characterization of him is very yeah, it's just very very gross, right? He's made like I love characters in media that like make you go, "Ah, that's like that kind of visceral reaction where you're like, that's just so gross. That's just that's not good, right? And so that's why like again, his outfit almost feels like intentionally low effort, right? Like he doesn't take care of like he doesn't like all the rest of the heroes that I've drawn so far had this like level of like they're a superhero, right? They obviously care about how they look. Also, sorry for the fact that this wasn't recording. I had to respond to a very important email. So again, sorry that paused for a second, but you can see based on like his appearance, he is very much not a superhero in appearance, and I think him also kind of being a piece of shit. I think it all was very cumulative. I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah. So again, having him have like socks and sandals on, right? Like almost as if he just rolled out of bed to be a superhero, and not in like a all right, I guess it's time to save the day, and more of like a ew, like again, you can't tell if the aura around him is his psychic powers working or the fact that he hasn't showered in a couple days and there's flies surrounding him, right? Like that's the kind of feeling that I want him to invoke. And I think I did a very good job. I think this is probably my favorite one that I've designed out of the three so far. But of course, that is not up for me to decide. That is up for y'all to decide in the comment section below. Oh my god, did I just loop that into an outro? Did I just talk about a thing in the video and then intersect that with an outro? Dude, I'm so fucking good at this, dude. All right, but regardless, thank you for watching. This was super fun to do, and I will make sure to try to get these out as fast as I can. Right, we only have a couple more members of the Legion to get through, so yeah, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.